Are you serious? Are you serious, guys? Well, this just in. We've got information. What are these things over my shoulder? What are these things flying over New Jersey, New York, Texas, California? Now, actually, about 20 some different states. Hundreds of drones. What are they? And let me talk about it. We've got a tremendous information for you. Let me just tell you, brace yourself. What? Are you serious? Guys, quickly now, bhmd1.com/Paul. That's bhmd1.com/Paul. Look, we've been told our whole lives that wrinkle creams were the easiest way to look younger. Now, one doctor says that's nothing but old news. According to Dr. John Lakey, the world-renowned Beverly Hills beauty expert, most wrinkle fixes on the market are nothing but just glorified moisturizers. They hardly make a dent on your appearance. Some can even be harmful to your skin. But recently, Dr. John Lakey has focused his attention away from the mainstream cosmetic practices. And here's why. So he can pursue a revolutionary anti-aging breakthrough, one that some experts say could empty the wallets of the cosmetic industry. It's almost like photoshopping your face. You may even be mad after you just see how easy it is to visibly erase the wrinkles from your view. His personal clients have dubbed this new do-it-yourself technique the Age Rewinder, and his method because it can take years or even decades off your appearance in under 2 minutes. It's in light of this amazing breakthrough, Dr. John Lakey has released a step-by-step video, guys, free, uninterrupted for the public. He shows you what to do. Guys, click on that link below this video. Go straight there. Click on the link below the video. It's bhmd1.com/Paul. You will be glad that you did. Guarantee it. Well, guys, seriously, there's drones over our home, and ET phone home. Everybody wants to know what it is. Everybody wants to know, what is it? What are they? Is it deep state DARPA drone experiment? Well, a former CIA agent said, very possible. They've done a lot of experiments on the public without us knowing. Could it be these drones? Could they be Iranian drones from the mothership? A congressman said that is possible. And matter of fact, he says he's got confirmation that it is. Is it the Secret Service using drones to protect Donald Trump and his golf course in New Jersey and anywhere he may go, in New York and other places? Is it drones? Are these nuke sniffers trying to find out, where could be possibly nuclear weapons or nuclear arsenal being moved, things moving around for terrorist activity? Could this be drone sniffers? Or could this be alien disclosure? Is this the alien disclosure? Is this what Walter von Braun said in the 60s? There was three events going to happen to humanity. Number one would be the Russia Cold War nuclear fear. Number two, the terrorism, radical Islamic terrorism fear. And number three, the alien invasion fear. Is that where we're at now? Well, let me just share some information with you right now that we just got in. I think it's very important. Iranian vessel, mothership. Is it the drones or UFOs? Alien invasion in preparation of a fake alien invasion? Or are these actual extraterrestrials? Is this a mystery over bizarre lights? It's everywhere. Is it nuclear sniffers? Drones of intermediate origin have been buzzing around New Jersey over the last month, prompting a mixed bag of responses from the lawmakers. The state's governor has even insisted these drones are safe, while a congressman believes they are the vanguard of an Iranian mothership. And Homeland Security officials and regional lawmakers have met to discuss the sightings even further. Dozens of mysterious nighttime flights started last month have raised growing concern among the residents and officials. Part of the worry, of course, stems from the flying objects initially being spotted near the U.S. military research and manufacturing facility at Pkwy Arsenal, and also over the President-elect Donald Trump's golf course in Bedminster, New Jersey. Now, drones are legal in New Jersey for recreational and commercial use, but that's even subject to local and federal aviation administration regulations and flight restrictions and flight patterns and flight plans, and operators must also be FAA certified. These drones are not on anybody's flight plan. They have no authorization. There has been no permits, and they're big as cars. President-elect Donald Trump weighed in yesterday, and said, look, if we don't know what these are, if the government don't want to tell us, shoot them down. The mystery drone sightings over this country, he said, can this really be happening without government knowledge? I don't think so. Let the public know what it is now, or otherwise, shoot them down. Now, most, but not all, the aerial objects spotted in New Jersey were larger than drones typically used by hobbyists, with reports claiming some were the size of SUVs. The number of sightings has increased, though, in recent days, though officials say many of those objects being seen maybe are planes rather than drones. It's also possible that a single drone may have been spotted more than once. Well, of course, we know that. But Homeland Security, Mayorkas, told CNN yesterday that many of the sightings were a case of mistaken identity, and that Homeland Security is in regular contact with New Jersey officials and has deployed experts and monitoring equipment to the state. We have not seen any unusual activity. In other words, Mayorkas is saying the public is lying. Mayorkas is saying there's nothing to see here. But he's the same one who said that the southern border was sealed, even though 10 million illegals have crossed into America. You can't believe anything Mayorkas says. In addition to this, it has been confirmed that some drone sightings are in fact small aircraft, he said. Governor Phil Murphy of New Jersey, local law enforcement officials have stressed that the drones don't appear to threaten public safety, and the FBI has been investigating and has asked residents to share any videos, photos, or any information they got, but the FBI has not given a report. And U.S. Senator Andy Kim of New Jersey shared a video on X yesterday of a group of drones near Round Valley Reservoir, which we have to worry about our infrastructure, our electric grid, our electric power plants and substations, water treatment plants, nuclear facilities. I mean, all these things we have to be concerned about. This has gone on for weeks, he said. It's hard to understand how, with the technology we have, with the satellites in the sky, that we're not able to track these devices to determine the origin. This makes me much more concerned about our capabilities more broadly when it comes to drone detection than countermeasures. Guys, is this a deep state experiment on the public? Or is this the beginning of setting us up for the next major event? Are we being tested? Is this Russia or Iran or China probing the American airways to see what our reactions are? And are they gathering intel about the American public and our infrastructure and our military bases and all the different things that we have? I mean, really, and New Jersey Congressman Jeff Van Drew, he said, look, we have a serious problem with our aerospace. He said, look, in recent sightings of these unidentified drones, look, he said before the House Transportation and Infrastructure Committee, he said, this is unbelievable. In my home state of New Jersey, what's going on here? And let me just say, I have confidential information given to me that this is an Iranian mothership, is hundreds of miles off the east coast of America, and these drones are coming and going from the mothership. Are you serious? And other people think there is a mothership, but it's of an alien origin. Biologics, then these are drones from a extraterrestrial mothership. What is going on? And so we're continuing to watch. I'm getting all kinds of information from insiders. I got some information just recently that I'm going to share tomorrow night, I think. But I'm waiting one more day on any other confirmation on it. There's some strange stuff going on. And even Mike from around the world. Remember, about 2 months ago, Mike said that we would soon see a mothership. This was about 2 years ago. He said, what are you going to do, Pastor Paul, when you see a mothership go over top of America that's a mile wide and silent and stealth, but yet everyone will see it as it goes over with the naked eye? Then Mike said a few months ago, what are you going to do, Pastor Paul, when crafts start coming out of the ocean from the people under the water, and then the crafts go back down into the ocean? He said it's already happening. But what are you going to do during this time of disclosure? And so there's a whole lot of stuff going on here. I'm going to be talking to Mike around the world about this Thursday night, about the underwater people. What is he talking about? The underwater people. These crafts coming out of the water and going back down into the water. What's going on here? So we're going to be talking about all this on Thursday night. And certainly, could this be demonic? Could this actually be demon activity? Or is there Project Bluebeam projecting these images that are going over top of people? But maybe because Mike said these drones that are being spotted, they are not on radar. They don't show up on radar. So my question is, are they even real? Maybe they're, I don't know. Are they Project Bluebeam putting them there? I mean, what's really going on here? What's really going on here? Is it insane? And, I was thinking a lot about last Thursday night. Thousands of people were watching. We had over 9,000 people just before we going to go to prayer. I had put a call out for salvation. A lot of people wanted to be saved and did get saved. Many in the archives after the service or after the broadcast. But I was disconnected from the broadcast just before it was time to pray. That is not an accident. That is not an accident. So I'm keeping, look, we're definitely in spiritual warfare. We did the webinar on it. We are definitely in spiritual warfare. And I just posted a video about 2 hours ago over at Patreon. If you haven't seen it, you need to go see it. It's from an article, actually, that was written about me in the Independent 4 years ago, talking about events that were coming upon the earth. And so I actually... I got a fresh video there for you to watch, and also a link that can take you to the article. Go, if you're a member of my Patreon channel, go there now and watch the video. I posted it about 2 hours ago. We're continuing to bring as much information to you as possible, and we're living in these end times. We really are living in the end times. Is it the deep state? Deep state DARPA drone experiment? The CIA said it's possible it is. Is this another Jade Helm? But Jade Helm of the sky? And when they're done with the experiment, it just goes away and we never get explained? Or is this disclosure of the alien invasion?
I'm so scared for this crooked generation. You even find faith.
I got more info for you.
When you bring down revelation, forgive us now the sins of our youth, worshiping the idols that knew everything but the truth. Teach us how to uncorrupt our minds. Show us now while we still have the time. We need you, Yeshua. Holy, holy, hallelujah.
Is it an Iranian mothership?
We need you, Yeshua.
Or is this government drone sniffers?
Holy, holy, hallelujah.
You know, drone sniffers sniffing for nuclear weapons.
Abandon everything to follow you, our King. We throw our gold and silver in the stream.
Is this another jade helm of the sky?
How much will we see
Before the fire falls.
Lord, could this really be the last altar call? We need your blood over the doorpost of our hearts. Anoint us with your fiery love as the praise.
The Bible says there'll be great signs and fearful sights in the heavens. Yeshua.
Holy, holy, hallelujah.
If it were possible, they'll deceive the very elect.
Yeshua. Holy, holy, hallelujah. We abandoned everything to follow you, our King. We throw our gold and silver in the streets. Oh, we abandon everything to follow you, our King. We throw our gold and silver in the streets.
I've got more information for you. We are going to question this. David says 3 drones crashed in New Jersey today. Shoot them down.
We abandoned everything to follow you, our King. We throw our gold and silver in the street. We abandoned everything to follow you, our King. We throw our gold and silver in the street.
You can still get your tickets for Spiritual Warfare. They're at my website at paulbegleyprophecy.com. You can still get your ticket today and be watching this incredible webinar. That's how incredible it is. The information is unbelievable. And so check it out. Go to our website at paulbegleyprophecy.com and find out more about it. Guys, let me just read from our book, Revelation 9:11. We talked about UFOs in chapter 10 of my book, Revelation 9:11, okay? Revelation 9:11. Let me read what we said about UFOs and extraterrestrials and that type of thing and how this is part of the great deception. And there's a lot of deception going on because nobody knows, is this Iranian mothership releasing these drones? Is this Russia? Is this China? Is this the U.S. government doing another Jade Helm experiment, this time in the sky? Are these nuke sniffers drones looking for nuclear weapons and terrorism? Is this a deep state DARPA? Let me read what we got here. I think you can go a step further. Extraterrestrial intelligence hasn't just visited. It's been here a long time, and it's still here. People talk about the WOW signal looking for the extraterrestrial intelligence. The WOW signal is that people see it on almost a regular basis. That's the communication that's already here. That was Stanford University professor Gary Nolan. There are more heavenly signs than just what we see in astronomy. Key verses from the Bible help explain what we're seeing happening today regarding aliens and UFOs, which we'll discuss in detail in this book, Revelation 9:11. We can look into ancient history. It will be helpful before we turn our eyes forward to the present and the future. Okay? And then I also talk about, of course, giants and Nephilims and stuff. But let me go over here. I'm still in chapter 10. Before his crucifixion, Jesus described the signs of the end times, confirming that deception would be the biggest problem. For false Christ and false prophets will arise and show great signs and wonders so as to deceive, if possible, even the very elect. That's in Matthew 24:24. The Apostle Paul also warned of deception in the last days. He wrote, "Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day will not come unless the falling away comes first, and the man of sin is revealed, the son of perdition, the coming of the lawless one, in according to the working of Satan, with all power, signs, and lying wonders, and with all unrighteousness and deception among those who perish, because they did not receive the love of the truth, that they might be saved. And for this reason, God will send them a strong delusion, that they should believe the lie, and that they all may be condemned, who did not believe the truth, but had pleasure in unrighteousness." That's 2 Thessalonians chapter 2. And then in 2023, former U.S. Air Force officer and intelligence official David Koresh testified before Congress, he did again this year, that the federal government had secretly overseen a decades-long UFO retrieval and reverse engineering program that included the recovery of alien remains. Garouche is a decorated former combat officer serving in the National Reconnaissance Office, representative to the Unidentified Aerial Phenomenon, or UAPs, task force between 2019 and 2022. Senator Josh Hawley also accused the government of a cover-up. The number of these sightings, he said, is apparently huge. It's huge, he said, and that is something that the government has downplayed, if not kept from the public for a long, long time. And former Department of State International Security Analyst Marieke van Reppenkopf says the issue is quickly coming to a head, and maybe it is right now. Either the U.S. government has mounted an extraordinary, decades-long cover-up of UFO retrieval and reverse engineering activity, or elements of the Defense Intelligence Establishment, or DARPA, are engaging in strategically a brazen psychological disinformation campaign. Either possibility would have profound implications for a democracy, the role of government, and perhaps also humanity's place in the cosmos. For these reasons, it is imperative that Congress and the federal law enforcement agencies devote significant resources to investigating a series of remarkable UFO-related developments. Importantly, a third explanation for recent events, that dozens of high-level, highly cleared officials have come to believe enduring UFO myths, rumors, and speculation as fact, appears increasingly unlikely. Have aliens been here for a long time? At a 3-day conference in New York back in 2023, a Stanford University professor said there is a 100% chance that aliens have been on the earth for a long time. Dr. Gary Nolan has extensively researched the history of UFOs and signs of extraterrestrial life, and is interested in how we can use alien technology to expand the reaches of human consciousness. What? Meanwhile, a former Pentagon consultant claimed at the same conference that the governments around the world have been in regular contact with aliens for decades. Now, I interviewed Laura Eisenhower, that is Dwight D. Eisenhower, President Dwight D. Eisenhower's great-granddaughter. I interviewed her in one of our webinars, okay? And here's what she told me. In an interview, the former president, she said, her great-grandfather had secret meetings with extraterrestrials at a military bases in New Mexico in 1954. Actually, she told me, if you go watch the interview, she gives me 3 different dates and 3 different locations in which he met 3 different alien species. Whatever those things are, whether they be demonic, whatever they are, President Dwight D. Eisenhower met with them 3 different times. In 2012, the Daily Mail ran a story about the former Pentagon consultant making these same claims, both about governments in general and Laura Eisenhower especially, saying also that the President Eisenhower met with aliens 3 times on Air Force bases throughout New Mexico and communicated with them telepathically. Now, Eisenhower, who commanded the Allied forces of Europe during World War II, warned Americans in his 1961 farewell address about the establishment of a military-industrial complex, possibly alluring to a purported secret government committee that allegedly was keeping aliens recovered from crash sites in Nevada's Area 51 and seeking to reverse engineer their technology. UFO events have been going on for many, many years, Laura Eisenhower says. There's been just millions of reports of sightings, of abductions, and contact experiences. Now, the primary question is whether Earth really is being visited by extraterrestrials from other planets, or whether these alien entities are actually interdimensional in nature. In other words, demonic or angelic, good or bad, coming and going in and out of our dimension. Hugh Ross, co-author of Lights in the Sky and Little Green Men, a rational Christian look at UFOs and extraterrestrials, says most UAP reports can be explained by natural phenomenon, military activity, or hoaxes, but a small number of sightings warrant further investigation. Not just the U.S. government, he said, but many other governments have been releasing their classified data on UFOs, and pilots are documenting what they see in the phenomenon where an apparent craft is making sharp, right-angled turns at thousands of miles an hour at G-forces that would destroy any physical craft that we have currently today. And then I go on and talk about this quite a bit in length here. And how this leads us into the great deception and 2 Corinthians and 2 Thessalonians, and the coming of the Antichrist and the false prophet and the new world order, the one world government. I cover all of that in this book, Revelation 9:11. If you haven't got a copy of this, this would make the perfect Christmas gift for somebody in your family. Maybe you've got 4 or 5 family members. You're thinking, I don't know what to get, Uncle Joe. I don't know what I'm going to get my grandson. I'm not sure what to get anybody. Go and order this book. Go to Amazon.com. It was really neat. It's not only at Amazon.com, but you can also get it at Barnes & Noble, Books A Million, Walmart, Target, online. They all have it. Yesterday I was walking around. Me and Heidi walked into a Barnes & Noble. And I just walked over into the religious section because I wanted to see what the newest books were out. I know that David Jeremiah had a new book out, and I knew that there was another author that I just slipped my mind had new books out. But as I walked through and looked, there was 9/11. It was on the shelf, and so took a picture of that. It's pretty neat. Hopefully, people will find out. There's so much deception in these last days. People need to realize we're living in the end times. There's drones. They're over our homes, and they're listening to us on our phones. But don't cry and moan. Jesus is coming soon. Jesus told us that these deceptions and invasions and even calling fire down out of heaven, what does all this mean? The people of heaven are seething with outrage and anger. Give your life to Jesus Christ. That is the one thing I can guarantee you. I promise you, Jesus Christ is the answer and the salvation of our souls. Don't miss tomorrow. I'll be preaching tomorrow on Under the Big Tent. And the title of the message I have right over here. I got my notes right here. There's coming a great shaking. You don't want to miss this message. There's coming a great shaking. That'll be tomorrow's message at Freedom Fellowship here in the Villages in Florida. God bless all of you. Are you serious? I am very serious. Are you saved?